U.S. Democrats have officially nominated former Vice President Joe Biden as their party's candidate to challenge President Donald Trump in the November election. This year, the convention has gone online as social distancing makes the old-style rallies impossible. Biden's supporters endorsed him largely as the man who can unite a divided America, and they include some heavyweights from the rival party.
The Democratic Party convention 4 years ago. And this is now. The convention center in Milwaukee is little more than a facility receiving and pumping out video content. The Democrats have now formally named Joe Biden as their presidential candidate. The votes came in remotely.
California, home to our next vice president, Kamala Harris, cast 231 votes for Bernie Sanders and 263 votes for our next president, Joe Biden.
The online celebrations had a message. While its members were social distancing, the Democratic Party was very much united. Biden's nomination was accompanied by a slew of endorsements. His wife Jill was one of many to emphasize Biden's ability to unite the country after President Donald Trump's turbulent tenure.
We just need leadership worthy of our nation, worthy of you, honest leadership to bring us back together, to recover from this pandemic and prepare for whatever else is next. Leadership to reimagine what our nation will be. That's Joe.
How did Donald Trump
Former President Bill Clinton led the charge attacking the incumbent.
Well, we are. At a time like this, the Oval Office should be a command center. Instead, it's a storm center. There's only chaos. Just one thing never changes: his determination to deny responsibility and shift the blame.
Former Secretary of State Colin Powell became a further prominent Republican to throw his weight behind Biden at the convention.
He will restore America's leadership in the world and restore the alliances we need to address the dangers that threaten our nation, from climate change to nuclear proliferation.
Trump, for his part, was trying to steal the limelight. As the Democrats embraced diversity and inclusiveness, the president was in the border state of Arizona, and he was railing against immigration.
The Biden plan would unleash a flood of illegal immigration like the world has never seen. It's crazy. Biden's plan is the most radical, extreme, reckless, dangerous, and deadly immigration plan ever put forward by a major party candidate.
The Democrats are continuing to cast Trump as a divisive figure, but the president is sticking to his tried and true playbook, regardless of what the polls are saying.
DW's Peter Röller-Dahl has been following the convention for us. He's with us in our studio. Hi, Peter. So Joe Biden is now officially the Democratic nominee. What stood out to you after 2 days of this convention?
Well, it seems the Democratic Party has finally settled on a strategy to beat Donald Trump, at least what they think will beat Donald Trump. The main thing is one that's not entirely unlike the one that Barack Obama ran on, which was, there's not a red America, there's not a blue America, there's a United States of America. That message of unity is absolutely central to the message that the Democratic Party has been really trying to hammer home over the past couple of days. We've seen, video after video, testimony after testimony, really showing how broad, the big tent that the Democratic Party is trying to paint itself as, that there's more that unites Americans, that divides them. That's a very central message that I think a lot of people are yearning for at the moment in the United States. The second part is obviously going after Trump, painting him as unfit for office. We've had several Republicans testifying to that in the course of the past 2 days. And also as someone who doesn't really care about anyone but himself. We're going through this pandemic, and someone who has not taken that seriously, who's not shown himself as being able to relate to the pain that a lot of people are going through. And that leaves it with point 3, which is Biden as the empathizer-in-chief, the man who understands struggle, who understands pain, someone who can relate. And I think that combination is what they're really trying to really push coming out of this convention.
Coming back to that message of unity, is it working? Because we know there were real rifts that opened up in the Democratic Party that we really saw come out, especially in the primaries.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of messaging, they've done a very good job, but we are actually we are seeing some of those rifts still. You know, there are signs of tension within the party. We have kind of this old guard versus new guard. You saw someone like Bill Clinton, the former president, who got a 5-minute speaking slot. Now, he's not very popular among young voters anymore, progressive voters, who see him as kind of a disgraced president who gutted welfare, who represent everything that the Me Too era has been kind of speaking out against, or the Me Too movement has been speaking out against, with his affair with Monica Lewinsky. And at the same time, you had someone like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, the kind of the firebrand, the star of the progressive left, who got 90 seconds speaking slot. So I think that really speaks to this tough balancing act that Biden is also facing going out of this convention, right? He needs to win over voters from maybe the broadest political spectrum that the Democratic Party has ever had to cater to, from progressive left wings to even disenchanted Republicans. So it's a very tough balancing act.
And just quickly on those disenchanted Republicans, because we saw some of those speakers as well. So how are the Dems really trying to distinguish themselves from the Republican Party right now?
Well, I think that is one of the main points that they are trying to exactly say, that they are the party of inclusivity, a party where everyone is welcome, whether actually you're a Republican, or a Democrat, as long as you're not, Trump.
All right, our reporter Peter Gulladal looking at the convention for us. Thank you so much for bringing us that.